Apple is about to pull off something we have never seen before, and honestly, your wallet is going to hate it. Rumors from the supply chain say Cupertino is preparing to drop 16 new hardware products. But here is the catch. Almost every single one of them is getting a massive price hike. We're talking about basic computers jumping by $500 and a foldable phone that costs more than a high-end MacBook Pro. If you think your current setup will last you forever, these updates might force you to change your mind. Let us look at what is actually coming down the pipeline, because some of these changes make absolutely no sense. Let's start with the iPhones because things are getting weird. Mark Gurman and Ming-Chi are both pointing to a massive shakeup with the upcoming iPhone 18 Pro lineup. We are expecting the new A20 Pro chip, which will be crazy fast, built on TSMC next-generation nodes. The LEC reports that Apple is finally shrinking the dynamic island, which is great because that pill shape cuts into video playback way too much. They are also simplifying that camera control button. Let's be real, almost nobody uses it right now because it is too awkward. But the big feature for photographers is a variable aperture on the main camera lens. That means real, physical bokeh instead of the fake software blur we get now. DG Times mentions an upgraded C2 modem adding support for real 5G web browsing via satellite. Sounds amazing, right? Well, get ready to pay an extra $200 for the privilege. If you think that is bad, the iPhone 18 Pro Max is getting an even bigger price bump, likely $300 more than today's model. Why the extra cash? Ross Young from Display Supply Chain Consultants notes that the Pro Max might actually get thicker this time around. Usually, Apple is obsessed with making things razor thin, but there is a massive internal upgrade forcing their hand. The battery is reportedly jumping by nearly 500 milliamp hours, taking the capacity up to over 5,500 milliamp hours. If that extra thickness translates to a true 2-day daily driver battery life, I think most people will accept the weight penalty. But the real wild card is a brand new tier called the iPhone Ultra. Yes, the long-rumored foldable Apple phone is finally happening. Mako Takara claims it features a massive 7.7-inch inner folding display and a 5.3-inch outer screen. Here's my hot take. I'm skeptical. If I already have an iPad sitting on my desk, why do I need a phone that unfolds into a mini tablet? Especially when the rumored starting price is an insane $2,500. Apple thinks they can ship 10 million of these, but given how the foldable market is struggling, they will be lucky to clear 3 million. It will apparently use Touch ID built into the power button instead of Face ID, run only 2 rear cameras, and rely on an optimized version of iOS to handle side-by-side multitasking. Are any of you actually willing to drop $2,500 on a first-generation Apple foldable? Let me know in the comments, because that price point feels completely out of touch. Moving on to the wearables, we have the Apple Watch Series 12 and the Apple Watch Ultra 4. Both are expected to run an S11 chip for faster processing. The standard Series 12 might see a physical redesign, potentially changing how the watch bands connect to the chassis. There are whispers about adding Touch ID and advanced blood pressure tracking, though Shrimp Apple Pro suggests those health sensors are still highly disputed. The Ultra 4 is where the real utility is heading. Apple is expanding the satellite ecosystem. Instead of just sending emergency texts, the Ultra 4 will let you access basic Apple Maps completely offline via satellite, and even text full photos and videos when you are completely off the grid. If you hike or travel into the backcountry, this is a massive safety upgrade. Now, let's talk about the iPads. The base iPad 12 is finally getting an upgrade to either the A18 or A19 chip with 8 GB of RAM. That extra memory is required to run Apple Intelligence, which means the cheapest iPad will finally support the new Siri. Expect a $100 price increase here, starting around $500. Then there's the iPad mini. The big news here is a rumored move to an OLED display, fixing the awful JLE scrolling issue forever. To make it more water-resistant, Apple is rumored to be testing a vibration-based speaker system that eliminates traditional speaker grills. It sounds risky, but if it keeps the tablet safe from a sudden downpour, it might be worth it. Do not expect a new iPad Pro anytime soon, though. The supply chain says that refresh is pushed back into next year. Macs are where my heart is, but the pricing news here is brutal. The upcoming Mac Mini will pack the new M5 or M5 Pro chip, but rumor has it the starting price is skyrocketing to $999. Apple is apparently eliminating the base 2 and 56 gigabyte storage tier entirely, making 5 and 12 gigabytes the standard entry point. While it is nice to get more storage out of the box, losing the affordable entry-level price completely kills the budget appeal of the Mini. The iMac is also getting the M5 treatment along with some new dark color options, thankfully moving away from those bright pastel shades. The chassis remains identical, but expect a $200 retail price increase across the board. For power users, the Mac Studio is getting upgraded with M5 Max and M5 Ultra Silicon. Internal tracking documents show Apple has tested these boards with up to an insane 768 gigabytes of unified RAM. Do not get your hopes up, though. Due to enterprise AI server demands eating up TSMC supply, Apple will probably cap consumer configurations much lower to prevent massive shortages. The laptop lineup is where things get truly chaotic. The standard 14-inch MacBook Pro is lined up for a surprise jump straight to the M6 chip just in time for the holiday shopping season. But the real showstopper is a completely new machine called a MacBook Ultra. This is a total top-to-bottom redesign. We're talking about an ultra-thin footprint, the first ever OLED touchscreen on a Mac, and the addition of a dynamic island at the top of the display. To support this, macOS will introduce a secondary touch-friendly interface. Honestly, first-generation Apple products are always a gamble. I would personally wait for the upgraded versions down the line when the software is fully baked, because a touchscreen Mac is going to take a lot of refinement to feel right. Finally, Apple is going all in on smart home gear to fix their lagging ecosystem. We are lined up for an Apple TV upgrade running the A17 Pro chip with full optimization for the personalized Siri Assistant and a new N1 chip for Wi-Fi 7. There are rumors of a built-in FaceTime camera, but having a camera constantly staring at you from the living room TV console feels a bit creepy for most families. The HomePod Mini is getting an S9 chip refresh and a new crimson red color option, while the full-size HomePod is getting an entirely new acoustic structural design to maximize spatial audio performance. But the device that will get the most attention is the brand new Home Hub. This is an entirely new product category for Cupertino. Think of it as a 6-inch square smart display powered by the A18 chip. It features a built-in FaceTime camera and can be mounted on your wall or set on a tabletop. It is designed to act as the primary command center for your entire house, letting you control your smart lights, answer video calls, and monitor home security cameras instantly. Apple is even working on dedicated security cameras to pair with it. The downside? Every single one of these home accessories is seeing a price bump of $50 to $100. Innovation is great, but the Apple tax is getting harder to justify.